everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog, and welcome to another TV episode review series. So today's TV episode we'll be reviewing today is The Gifted, the pilot episode called eXposed. Now, before I get into my thoughts about this episode, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It can be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of movie or TV show news that was released during the week that I wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. But new videos will be posted up every Sunday. And now, starting Mondays, I will be posted up my TV episode roundup videos, which is where I review all the TV episodes I've seen during the week, from worst pick of the week to best pick of the week. So expect the TV episode roundup videos to show up every Monday. So now let's get into this episode review of The Gifted pilot eXposed. So what happens in this episode is that we get more focus on this family. Like the dad's name is Reed, the mom's name is Kate, and they have two kids named Lauren and Andy. And they exist in the X-Men universe where mutants are still being hated. But in this universe, it turns out that the X-Men and the Brotherhood have disappeared mysteriously, as they were involved in some kind of big battle that caused a lot of innocent people to get hurt, and so that's why the government is still hunting mutants because of that. But at first, the kid, when we see the family, they seem like a normal human family from our point of view. But then when Andy and Lauren both go to school, Andy ends up getting bullied by ends up getting bullied by a pair of bullies. And it turns out that when Andy gets stressed, his powers awaken, and he has the power to like cause earthquakes or destroy things around him or tear things apart around him. And when that happened, and the parents then realized that their kids have powers, and even the sister Lauren, they discovered that she had her powers years ago. It's just she decided not to tell her parents because she wasn't sure how they would react. So once the parents find out that their kids are actually mutants, the government comes in and tries to take both Lauren and Andy away from their parents, and the parents are like, "No, you're not going to take our kids away from us." So the parents decide to try to take the kids to Mexico, so that way the kids won't be taken away by the government, and they could be in a place where there's no mutant law, where the mutants have to be taken away to the government and be experimented on or something like that. And in order to do that, Reed, the father, ends up making a deal with this group of underground mutants that features Polaris and Blink in the crowd, and two other guys. And they said they're gonna help Reed and his family get to Mexico if they can help them, if Reed can help them find Polaris, where we saw at the beginning of the episode that Polaris is like locked up at the government agency, where the daddy was the one who locked her up. And I have to say that the ending of this episode is like really shocking, so I can't really say much about what happened at the end of the episode without spoiling things. But yeah, the end of the episode was really shocking, and it's like a huge cliffhanger, and you just have to see this episode to find out what really happens to the characters at the end. So what are my thoughts about this episode? I love this episode. I've been wanting to have a new X-Men TV series for a long time. I think the last time we had an X-Men TV series, it was like Wolverine and the X-Men, which was a cartoon. But now we finally got a new X-Men TV series, even though it's one that I didn't really expect to get. Like, I was expecting a new X-Men TV series to have the original X-Men characters like Storm, Wolverine, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, Cyclops, and those. But I was actually surprised that we have an X-Men series that focuses on a different set of characters that live in the X-Men universe, but the X-Men are not really there to converse with these characters. So we have more focus on this different group of characters as they try to deal with their own issues of being mutants and trying to survive in this world where the mutants are being persecuted for being different. So I found that aspect really interesting. But because of that, I was actually really curious about why the X-Men and the Brotherhood actually disappeared in this universe, and they said that there was some kind of battle between the X-Men and the Brotherhood that caused a lot of humanity to be hurt. So it makes me wonder, where did the X-Men disappear to, and would that be one of the big mysteries that's going to be explored in this TV series in later episodes? I hope so, because I would love to see my favorite X-Men characters make a comeback in television, so I think this would be a good series to bring them all back if that's possible. I also love the family dynamic in this series. Like I love the way that the parents when the parents found out that their kids are actually mutants, they go through they go through such lengths to make sure that their kids are safe, and they don't care if they're going to be on the run or whatever. They just want to make sure that their kids are not taken away from them by the government. And I really love that interaction that the parents have with their kids, and how much they're willing to put their lives on stake just to keep their kids safe. Um, but yeah, I would love to see more from these characters in future episodes. If there was an issue I had with this episode, was that I felt like there should have been more said about the characters. Like I feel like we don't know much about the kid's life or the whole family's life before the incident about the kids awakening their powers happened. Like I wanted to know what Lauren and Andy's lives were like before we get to the storyline about them being mutants, because I want to know how are they able to hide their powers for so long, and how does getting their powers in this universe work? Do they have to get stressed out, or is there other means of them discovering their powers? So yeah, I was really interested to find that out in later episodes. And I wish that this episode actually explored more about how the kids were able to get their powers in the first place, and what were their lives like before they discovered their powers. So overall, I gave this episode 4.75 out of 5. Again, I took up some points because I felt like there should have been more explored with the kids and the family itself before the power manifestation happened. But the pacing was really good for this episode. Like I felt like it wasn't too slow, it wasn't too fast. It was just the right pacing where I get to know a lot of things that's going on, while at the same time I'm staying at the edge of my seat when the action scenes come up. And I also love the character development. Like I love how close we see the family, so it makes me really sympathize with the characters when they have to be on the run. And I just also love seeing the different mutants that we never really seen before in the X-Men universe, like Polaris and Blink make an appearance. So I would say this episode's really good. It makes me want to get more out of the show, and I can't wait to see the next week's new episode and see where all these characters are going at afterwards. So, what are your thoughts about The Gifted? Have you seen the pilot episode for The Gifted? And if you have, do you like the pilot? Do you hate the pilot? And if you liked it or hated, what more things do you want to see from The Gifted? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated on any new videos I post up. And also, like my Facebook page, Rabbitearsblog's Best Comments. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later.